Commentator has been throwing shady captions and comments on the internet as if he is telling everyone that the breakup was actually good for him, posting captions like Shingo inarudi sasa, mnipe time tu kiasi, I work on me, clearly indicating that the relationship with Moren Gigi was kinda holding him back from working on himself.
Mimi am a go-getter. Na babe anakuanga na uoga. Sijui nini pull back. So mimi nataka kufanya kitu na he's the man of the house. Lazima nimconsult. Sasa akiniambia hapana, that tunaweza korogana sana.
Then following it with acheni nijipende leo will really mean a lot of things. It's almost as if he is telling the entire world that the relationship was too toxic for him to even love or think about himself. I looked good, kijana keki walai, implying that he was better off back in the days before his relationship, and almost confirms that he is ready to get back into the dating scene by finishing off with let me work hard to attain this back, because why else would he say this? Or is it because of the guest Hana Shingo meme?
Guest Hana Shingo.
But if you think that that is all, wait until you get to know what Commentator 254 did to the Kwa Akina Ndoa podcast channel, which fans had noticed that it had disappeared for quite a while, because it was even renamed from Kwa Akina Ndoa to this. No videos and all the relationship advice gone with it. Rumor has it that Commentator has moved out of their home.
Kuna time tulikosana hadi mambo ikachemuka vibaya sana. And you thought like this now is the end. Akiangaga piga sabu za bedsita tena kwanza kurudi wa bedroom, kutafuta nyumba.
Mnagawana viti.
Nini inaitwa hata si mama na kugawana viti. Sasa tunagawana nini hapa? Kuna kitu ya kugawana kwa hii nyumba.
Viti. Mbona nataka vitu zako za TV?
Mimi wapi?
Shingo anajisort.
Mimi najisort hapa bana. Nabeba TV yako. Like unaona ni vitu tu zingine very.
Because Moren Gigi has been posting videos from their former premises, even selling stuff like the dining table that Commentator surprised her with, and this breakup seems to be like the freedom they had been longing for quite a while. But here is where it even gets more juicy. They all predicted this breakup, and whatever red flags Moren Gigi had been giving out from the start was what we were missing. For instance, this particular video was done about 4 months ago before the breakup happened, where Moren Gigi said that relationship was hindering her from a lot of things.
Is now imekuzuia kufanya
sana mingi, si mob, but kunazo like, you know, nowadays you have to consult him like, babe, can I go out with the girls? Babe, can I do this? Kitambo siko nauliza. Kitambo siko like, babe, neza toka hivi, babe, neza like finances, I cannot go to our savings nichukue pesa tu pop without even asking him. So lazima consult so many things. I think imezuia vitu zingine. I cannot even use my money venye nataka.
A lot of rumor, a lot of questions from people have been hinting that Moren Gigi was just too young, or might have just been too young to settle. Others saying that this was an elaborate scheme from her to secure her future and gain some fame from the Commentator, then eventually dust off. And with the look of things, that might just be true, because allegations of infidelity, financial struggles, among very many other toxic traits were all the red flags you missed out. But before we even get there, tell us on the comment section, who do you think was the problem between Commentator and Moren Gigi? And do you think that this was a well-executed plan from Moren to gain fame and numbers and speed off leaving Commentator high and dry in the desert? Well, a lot of people have been trying so hard to understand the dynamics of how things are working between Commentator and Moren Gigi, because despite them coming out in a joint statement and saying that they have both agreed to break up, one thing still remains clear: you can't break up because you are in good terms. It's not like you're making a friendship public, but this is a father and a mother separating. Clearly, there was trouble in paradise in between them, and people are saying that everything is not okay between these two people because people are suggesting that all of these had been seen multiple times ever since time immemorial from their older videos. People are suggesting that Moren Gigi was somewhat not very respectful to Commentator. Multiple clips have been surfacing on the internet on where people are comparing conversations and live video, including their, in quotes, prank videos where Moren Gigi was oftenly seen being offended by whatever a commentator was doing, simultaneously complaining about commentators' behaviors and even at one point opening up about financial struggles with commentator. One particular time is when Moren Gigi came out and said this: "Mimi nimechoka na commentator. Yeye hataki kumake risk. I need to make financial risk because I am a go-getter." And that was all that commentator needed to know. Looking at his body language, looking at his gestures, and looking at how he was listening to Moren Gigi open up about all this, clearly showed everyone that commentator knew exactly where the problem was. And although they seemed like an unbreakable couple, people could have already seen that these two people were not going to last long. Of course, Moren Gigi and commentator have boldly said that this is not the first time that they had even thought about this. I mean, these people have entangled in multiple drama and trouble that would have broken them months way back before this recent incident, and it is not the first time that they are getting at loggerheads because commentator himself confirmed, "Kuna siku hata tuligongana vichwa vibaya sana. We knew it was the end. We knew that we were finally done, but of course we settled things." All of the drama started unraveling just a few weeks ago when commentator and Moren Gigi decided to join hands and work on a joint podcast as a family, where they secretly revealed a lot of things that people noted one by one. For instance, commentator and Moren Gigi kept on insisting on their financial freedom. They said that they had decided to combine their efforts and work as a unit. Pesa inakuja ikiwa ya kila mtu, then tuna combine into one system, then it becomes our money, and that is when we can easily manage to pay our bills, navigate the household items, and among very many other things. So, was that them simply admitting that they were on a 50-50 relationship, or what was commentator really talking about? Then, more drama surfaced on the internet after people quickly started noticing the faults, the plays, and the drama when apparently some of their closest friends, that is Jinganga and Vinny Flavor, boldly came out and admitted that they had broken up. But if you want to know what really happened, because it looks like Moren Gigi and commentator had a huge role to play in that, Vinny Flavor had at one point come out boldly and announced that some of the people who were very close to them in their friendship circle are the ones who had managed to make sure that Jinganga and Vinny Flavor had broken up, and immediately people started seeing these breaks and these holes in this toxic friendship group. Very many people said that Moren Gigi na commentator were the ones who were involved because, I mean, they were the only duo that Vinny Flavor had unfollowed at that time. Of course, looking at the recent incident, it looks like both commentator and Moren Gigi were clearly not happy in their relationship, with their personalities not aligning. Moren Gigi always complaining about commentator's reaction, the way he responds to things, the way he moves, the way he talks, or even sometimes the way he reacts. Just a few weeks ago, when they were doing a game with the Rui family and with Keshi and Biko, Moren Gigi said this: "Mimi sipendi vile babe huwa anajam." And of course, all the other friends attributed to that. In fact, one particular person said, Commentator hukuwa na mood sana, unaweza enda kwake upate amefura kupindukia. Then of course you're not going to add the petty part, because all the vibe that this was giving is that Moren Gigi was not taking this anymore. Very many people are saying that what made Moren Gigi really open her eyes is the fact that recently a fan texted Commentator and tried to get some money from him. Of course, Commentator came out in a move that very many people assumed to be very childish. Commentator posted the person on his Instagram account in an attempt to expose the fan, claiming that the fan was getting out of hand and that the fan was crossing some boundaries. But people didn't see it that way. People saw this move as a very petty move, and in fact Commentator was heavily criticized on the internet, with people asking this particular question: why would you do this to someone that is your fan? Yeye ndo huwa anakuwatch, yeye ndio anakupea views, yeye ndio anacount kukugeneratia revenue. If you can't handle it in the inbox na umwambie hauna, just block the person and ignore. Usikuja kuanika mtu in this way, because people out there are going through a lot, and people out there are very frustrated, and maybe that was just a person trying to vent out their anger issues. So people saw this approach as very childish, and they said that this might have been one of the pointers that Moren Gigi saw and said, I can't do this anymore. Very minor detail is still known to the public, because photos have been surfacing around with people claiming that Commentator moved out of the house. But is this really true? Are they co-parenting? But of course, in a clip that I've played for you before, Commentator said this: in case wakosane, of course atakuwa na stress ya kurudi kwa bedsitter, kutafuta pale one bedroom, maybe kuanza kununua vitu. And one thing that Moren Gigi was stressing about was the fact that they need kugawana vitu. We don't know if that is what is happening, but Commentator, using his own words, said, when I move out, mimi nitabeba tu TV yangu, the rest of the house hakuna kitu ya kugawana, huyo utaamua vile utafanya. And that might just be something that they predicted very correctly, because that is exactly what is happening. We are not sure whether he has moved out yet, but clearly sources have confirmed that they are not together in the same house. And of course, we have been seeing multiple times pale kwenye status Moren Gigi coming out and posting the things that she is selling from the house, including the dining set, including the baby cot that Santiago CEO was using. You guys, give us your honest opinion, comments, review and feedback, because it looks like things are getting a little bit bitter and a little bit over sour for Moren Gigi and Commentator. Very many people have still have questions lingering in the air, but it looks like this breakup did so much good for both of them that the harm that we all think, because Commentator looked rejuvenated. He has gone back into content creation full time, maybe this time, and very many people are saying that this was just the break that they needed, because with the kind of captions that he has been posting on his Instagram account, clearly Commentator has a lot more to tell than what he has been hiding. Give us your honest opinion, give us your honest review, tell us what you think about this. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because here on the Celebrity Drama Files is where we bring you all the hottest drama, all the hottest tea, and all the information as it appears on the internet before any other mainstream media or any other social media platforms delivers the news to you. So let's subscribe, let's like, let's comment, keep the comment section absolutely respectful, and let's catch up on my next video as we get to know the truth that is unraveling before our eyes.